this is Lemmy from lotr. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about something that happened recently. Me and my brothers-in-law held a battle right here in this kitchen. And well, it was an enormous amount of fun. I have posted a battle report type thing on my Instagram channel. I didn't want to record it because they didn't want to be on camera. Maybe I'll post the pictures here as well. You'll see. And we had an enormous amount of fun. We battled 4 armies, 2 good armies, 2 bad armies, or evil armies. They were pretty bad too, I mean, nothing to do against dwarves. But one of my brothers-in-law wants to play Middle-earth strategy battle game now. And he has opted to go for a Rivendell warband to start with. Rivendell Knights to be precise. And I thought to myself, I want to build an army specifically to battle his. So I wanted to start a new army. My wife did not like that. She's like, you already have too many minis. Never enough. So yeah, I'm gonna start probably the worst army that you can have against Rivendell Knights with Elrond, and that's Goblin Town. So I want to show you how I paint my goblins, how I do their bases as well. I think they look pretty good. Lots of noise. I think they look pretty good, and I want to show it to you, make you guys join the journey to Goblin Town army. At the moment I just ordered 18 goblins second hand from Vinted. For some reason Vinted is a goldmine of miniatures. I really like it. So yeah, I'm gonna paint them up. My brother-in-law is slowly building his warband up. And eventually, when we are both ready, we're aiming for around 400 points as well, maybe important to know. We're gonna battle. I'm gonna try and take pictures as well, maybe convince him to get on camera or not, but in a way that I can record it and maybe upload it to the channel. It will be the first time ever I play with the new rules. Not long ago when we played, it was with 20-year-old rules. I mean, some things have changed. Alright, so I'm gonna show you how we paint goblins now, and see you at the desk. And welcome to the desk. I have already primed this little goblin. I primed him with grey seer. I didn't want to go black, I really want him to be pale and sickly looking. And the base will be done separately. First off, I start with rakarth flesh and give it a nice all over coating, even the boils, pretty much everything except for the cloth, his weapon and his hair. Otherwise everything gets a nice coat, and this will be the base of our flesh tone. After this we'll use some washes, some dry brushing, and we'll make this goblin look great and sickly looking. And it's also easy to reproduce, it doesn't take long, it's perfect for a horde army like this. And the result looks pretty good if you ask me. Now, the base tone of the flesh is done. I use carroburg crimson and just slather it over every boil and big lump you can find, if you're following along at home, I mean. And don't be shy with it. In some areas I use way more of the wash than others, just to accentuate that it has been infected, it's being just uncared for and being able to grow and spread and be real nasty. Also, they don't really have basic hygiene in Goblin Town, I believe. And you could also use some green washes with this one. I use Seraphim Sepia. just to dirty up the hands, the feet, some areas like the bellies, wherever there is some more detail in the miniature. I tend to use this just to accentuate it a little bit. You can use a little bit in the face as well, in the back of the knees I use it too, but I tend to use this one rather sparingly. And to me it adds a little bit more of dirt to the mix. Now I use pallid witch flesh as a dry brush to pick up the raised detail, and it will help blend the boils and the big bumps on the goblins into the undertone a little bit. And it will also highlight the pustules he has, makes them look like they're ready to pop. It's already starting to look disgusting, but in a good way. And once you've done this, the flesh tone is ready. If you paint anything else and you mess up and accidentally paint some of the loincloth color on the skin, you can always go over it with the rakarth flesh. Now I use grey seer again, just to paint the hair, because in the movies they have greyish white hair. This really goes well with it. Next up, mechanicus standard grey for the axe hat. I use mechanicus standard grey because I want it to look like it's a stone, which they wrapped some metal around and they call it an axe. It makes it look a little bit more do-it-yourself. Makes it look like they are just doing something, which they probably are if you have seen Goblin Town in the movies. I use mournfang brown on the axe handle. I also used XV88 on the loincloth, but I apparently totally forgot to record this part. And yeah, mournfang brown, you can use any brown actually, as long as you don't use it for the loincloth, because if the loincloth and the wood are the same color, it will take away from this model, because it doesn't have a lot of other details like that. Leadbelcher to highlight the metal pieces in the axe hat. And if you look closely on the model, you'll see some lines going through it, and I paint those leadbelcher as well, just to make it look like the rock in the axe hat is held together by some strips of metal they found somewhere on a traveler that came unannounced and armed. Now I use nuln oil everywhere except the skin, so the loincloth, the axe handle, the hair, just to dirty it up a little, give it a little bit more detail. And I use a lot of it as well. Next up I use white scar. I try to paint the eyes, but only the white of the eyes to make them look a little bit more scary. And I think this accomplishes it. When you put a lot of them together, the white eyes really get all the attention, which make them look a little bit more scary. Imagine being in the dark and all you're seeing are white glowing eyes. That's a little bit the feel I'm going for with this army. And this is the goblin on his base. I use some rust effect as well on the metal part. But sadly I cannot show you how I make the bases, because literally as I'm recording this voiceover, at any moment a fun fair can start, and it will be here for an entire week, and I really want this video out. Great, painting buddy has done a shit. Hope you cannot hear. The fun fair is gonna start at any moment. I do not know how late. Gonna wait until she's finished taking a shit.
A few moments later.
So yeah, the fun fair is gonna start at any moment now. I really wanted this video out, but I also ordered the Goblin King, of course, to lead this army. and I'll probably show you how I paint that one as well, because I gonna do it a little bit more differently, make sure he has more detail. And I'm gonna show you how I base him. It's gonna be the same as I did with the goblin warriors, only way bigger. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it helps you paint up this ginormous horde army. If you follow this tutorial, you'll go through them rather quickly. The bases are another thing. I spent more time doing the bases, I think, than painting each individual model. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya!